Call to order the regular city commission meeting for Tuesday, June 9th at 6:01. Thank you all for being here. We will have an invocation by Fire Chief Baker, and then after the invocation, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you stand, please?
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for life, health, and strength. We thank you for waking us up this morning, starting us on our way, clothing us in our right mind. Lord, continue to let this meeting be prosperous and doing the will of your people. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Interim City Clerk, would you please do the roll call?
Yes. Good evening. Mayor Dr. Beverly Nash,
Present?
Mayor Pro Tem Lane Stevens,
Here.
District 4, Commissioner Dr. Robin Wood, District 1,
Here.
Commissioner Devontae Knight, District 2,
Here.
Commissioner Ronte Harris, District 3.
We will have a proclamation.
Mayor,
I'm sorry, approval of the agenda. I'm moving too fast. And I have several things that need to be added. One being, number 6 will be burial plots. Number 7 will be the June 23rd commission cancellation. Number 8 would be the Quincy Police and Fire Pension Fund Board of Trustees. Any other items to be added to the agenda?
Mayor,
Commissioner Wood.
I like, you got one of them that I had, so I'll take that one off. Two that I would like to add to the agenda. One, former Commissioner Dowdell dedication. I'd like to add that. And the second thing would be Hurricane Michael funding proposal.
Any other items?
Mayor, what was your first two? You said burial plots?
Burial plots. That's number 6. Number 7, June 23rd, commission cancellation.
Police and fire retention board member.
Any other additions to the agenda? May I have approval? Commissioner Stevens.
Mayor, I would move the approval of the agenda with the amendments 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 as described.
Do I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second that we approve the agenda with the additions. Are you ready for questions? All in favor, say so by saying aye.
Aye.
The agenda passes. The next is a proclamation. Oftentimes, we do not get the opportunity to honor our businesses. With this proclamation, we're going to be doing so. Miss Patricia Bates Trotta is in the hospital and physically cannot attend, although her heart is here, she wanted to be here, and she sends her regrets. Her picture is outside in the hallway, And this proclamation is for recognizing the undeniable accomplishments with her and her business, and it reads, whereas Mrs. Patricia Bates Trotter and the Big Bend Rebar, Inc. were named the 2026 Big Bend Minority Chamber of Commerce Gaston County Trailblazer Awardee, and was the 2025 Woman-Owned Business Enterprise WBE of the Year. And whereas the Big Bend Minority Chamber of Commerce has a tradition of recognizing outstanding local businesses and leaders whose vision and perseverance advance inclusive growth. And whereas Ms. Patricia Bates Trotter founded Big Bend Rebar in 2002, transforming a home-based startup into one of the region's few manufacturing plants supplying domestic reinforced steel to contractors across Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. And whereas Ms. Bates Trotter redirected her professional career and interests in 2000, encouraged by her husband, Joe Trotter, whose experience as a commercial concrete supervisor provided valuable perspective. Building on that insight, she conducted market studies in the steel rebar industry, examining growth and development trends in North Florida, and determined there was a local market need for fabricated reinforcing steel. And whereas through resilience, strong financial leadership, and an unwavering drive for excellence, Ms. Bates Trotter has guided Big Bend Rebar to success, achieving recognition as both a state of Florida woman-owned business and a certified disadvantaged business enterprise, while also graduating from the Jim Munran Institute of Global Entrepreneurship at Florida State University. And through her perseverance, professionalism, and unwavering commitment to expanding economic opportunity, Patricia Bates Trotter exemplifies entrepreneurship and leadership, serving as a powerful inspiration for others to pursue their vision with courage, determination, and purpose. Now therefore, I, Dr. Beverly Nash, by the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Quincy, do hereby recognize Big Bend Rebar and Ms. Patricia Bates Trotter on their achievements and commitment to inclusive economic development, and her selection as the 2026 Gaston County Trailblazer of the Year, Woman Business Council, Big Bend Minority Council, Chamber of Council, on this day, June 9th, 2026. We thank the Big Bend Rebar, Inc., and all of our small businesses for your investing in the city of Quincy as well as Gaston County. Thank you. And we wish Ms. Bates Trotter good healing as she recovers in the hospital. Special presentations, none. Item for consent is our commission meeting of May 26, 2026.
Mayor?
Yes, Commissioner Knight.
Yes, I just have two corrections on the minutes. on page 2 and 5 where it says Miss Davis Park, that should read Carl Davis Park and Playground. On
Where is
page,
that?
on page 2 and 5, where it says District 2 in the middle, it should, read Carl Davis Park and Playground. And on page 5, the 13th bullet down, I believe.
Okay, fine.
And that bullet, what are you correcting?
Where it says, Miss Davis Park, that should read Carl Davis Park and Playground.
Oh, okay, thank you. Any other corrections?
Just one, on page 2 at the top, under utility building, just take out the 2, it says date change 2/4, just date change 4. It's just a little typo there.
Okay. Any other corrections?
Now the date is May 26, 2036.
Oh, and the date should be 26 and 36 at the top of page 1.
Yes, thank you.
Oh.
Any other corrections?
Mayor,
Commissioner Knight.
I'd like to offer a motion to approve the minutes within the necessary changes for May 26, 2026.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we approve the minutes for May 26, 2026 with the necessary corrections. Are you ready for the question? All in favor, please say so by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion to approve the minutes passed 5-0. We have comments from the audience. Mr. Derek Elias. Mr. Elias.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners.
Evening.
First thing I just want to ask respectfully, Commissioner Knight, and I guess for the rest of y'all, I could barely hear you out there, so if y'all could speak into the microphones, it would help us be able to hear out in the chambers. So thank you. So Mayor, I only have a couple of things real brief. At the last meeting, you all had a gentleman, I guess a contractor, who stood before you and pointed out some things relative to fees, building fees. And during that time, it appears as though that he may have been overcharged. And so I stand before you tonight and just ask, given the history, the recent history of the allegations and arrests that have come out of City Hall and particularly out of their area, did y'all give any consideration as to two things? If there was anyone else affected, now that gentleman came before you, did y'all check to see if anybody else perhaps was overpaid, is one question. And the other question is, was there any consideration whatsoever given to some type of an investigation, again, given the history of what has been going on recently within the city? So those are two questions. And my final comment and or questions centered around the budget. Are you all getting ready to go into your budget season, I guess, in short order?
Yes.
And so the audit for 24, 25, has that been completed?
24, 25.
24, 25, yes, ma'am. Has that audit been completed?
No.
Has not?
No,
Do you have
from
a time
city
frame?
manager.
Do you have a time frame when that will be completed, Mr. Manager?
No, but, financial.
I can barely hear you. I'm standing up here.
No, we don't have, but we do anticipate that it will be done in the next couple of months. Our auditing firm is working very closely with
Okay.
our senior accountant to get that taken care of.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you. Mr. Elias,
Yes, ma'am.
you had also not only citizens' comments, but you had number 4 and 5. You want to wait
Yes.
until you
Yes,
get to
I would,
those?
I would like to be able to reserve my right to come back at that time. I may not have any comments at all. And likewise, Mayor, you all added things at the end, and I had already turned in my sheet, so I'd also reserve the right to maybe raise my hand
No.
when you get to some of those things.
No,
Okay.
So thank you, Mayor.
that's not how this works. Mayor,
Uh,
Mayor,
we finish the comments from the citizens before
Parliamentary inquiry. There is normally a spot on this agenda where the public can speak on propositions that come before the commission, and I noticed that it's no longer on the agenda, and that is when the public is to speak. We don't just raise our hand from the audience and come back at will and speak throughout the commission meetings. So that needs to be corrected.
Well,
There should be a
it's
spot
not-
on this agenda for the public to speak on agenda items, and it used to appear there, and it no longer appeared on the agenda, Mr. Manager. Okay. And if you refer back to the charter, it is there. So at the appropriate time, the public should be able to speak on any item before we take it up. But that's the time that they speak, not this
Well, since
free-for-all
it's-
that we've been doing in our commission meetings, where
Well,
folks just
since
raise
it's
their
not
hand
on
from the
here-
audience like we're in a classroom.
Since it's not on here, let's honor the citizens and their comments. Thank you. We have Chaplain Frame.
I am Pastor Frame of the New Hope Missionary Baptist Church. I'm also the chaplain for the Fort St. Joe Florida Police Department. I come before you tonight, Madam Mayor and Commissioners and City Manager, to tell you about a very historic event that's going to take place on this Friday. We're going to have the First Responders Heroes Award ceremony. We will be honoring almost 80 agencies from Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. Firefighters, police officers, nurses, doctors. We're even going to honor the fire chief here, the city of Quincy. We're also going to honor the police chief, whoever the interim chief for the city of Quincy, and Gaston Sheriff's Department, and also EMS. I want to send an invitation to you guys to come out and support that with us. And it's going to be held at the New Hope Missionary Baptist Church. It's a historic event. It's never happened in Gaston County. And it's my way of giving back to our officers, our firefighters, who does so much for our communities. And I want to recognize them for the great job that they do. And that's all I have.
At what time?
That's going to be at 11 o'clock. That's going to be at the New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, which is 602 Lee Paramore Road.
Thank you for the invitation.
Mayor.
Commissioner.
Thank you. Mayor, I just want to point out that I attended the event about 2 years ago. We were able to provide the lunch 2 years ago for an event that was held in, I believe it was at the Tallahassee Memorial Foundation building, if I'm not mistaken. It's a really nice event that honors local law enforcement, not just in Gadsden and Leon, but all around the region. And the invitation that he extended is worth the attendance. It was a wonderful program that day. I just wanted to make that note, that it's not the first one, it's just the first one here in Gadsden County. So thank you.
That was New Hope, right?
Is it New Hope? Is it New Hope? Okay. At 11 o'clock. Okay. We have no more request forms. So our next item is a public hearing on ordinance number 1516-2026.
Mayor and Commissioners, Ms. Kimball?
First of all, we have to ask for a motion to read the ordinance. Is there a motion to read ordinance number 1516-2026 by
Mayor-
title only?
Mayor, I make a motion that we read ordinance number 1516-2026 by title only.
Second.
City Clerk, would you poll the commission, please?
Mayor Dr. Beverly Nash,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lane Stevens,
Yes.
Commissioner Dr. Robin Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Devontae Knight,
Yes.
Commissioner Ronte Harris.
Yes.
This is a public hearing to consider approval of ordinance number 1516, 2026 on first reading, amending Chapter 46, Land Development, Section 172. City Manager, would you please provide a summary of the proposed ordinance?
She needs to read it by title.
I would have Ms. Kimball read it by title.
Madam Chair and members of the dais, an ordinance of the City of Quincy, Florida, amending Chapter 46-171, Land Development, Section 172, revising lot of record provisions to correct the reference to the official plat source, providing for codification, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. Read the whole thing.
Question, is it 172 or 171?
It's section 172 and, it's chapter 46 and section 142, 172, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. At this time, the public hearing is open. Is there anyone in the public who would like to speak concerning ordinance number 1516, 2026?
Mayor, can we get a summary of the ordinance before the public comes?
City Manager?
Mayor and Commissioners, this ordinance correct a year that was in conflict with what was on the county records. One document had 1993 and the other had 1992. And so this ordinance correct that so that the 1993 is consistent.
At this time, it's open for the public hearing. If there's any members of the public who would like to speak on the ordinance, please do so now. Hearing no comments, at this time, we close the public hearing and we turn the ordinance over to consideration by the City Commission. Commissioner Wood.
Thank you, Mayor. Let's get the numbers straight first. Up top, it says section 172. At section 1, it says section 46-171. So which, is it 171 or is it 172? Because it's two different section numbers on here.
Ms. Kimball?
It's 171.
And City Manager, can you go back over the summary? I'm still a little, I don't know if it's me or does the audience even know what are we talking about here?
Well,
I can see probably more than they can, but is it just a change to what was listed in this plat book? It's the same thing, but you're just changing I'm a little confused.
well, in our, I believe it was a workshop that we had last couple of weeks, there was a discrepancy with the records as far as the plat book year. And so 1993 is what ARPC had found in the Gadsden County records, but our ordinance had 1992 on it, and so there was a discrepancy in the year. So for clarification, this ordinance is requesting to change that year to 1993, so to be consistent in both places.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Stevens.
It is 171. According to the Muni Code codification, looking at our ordinances right now, it is 46-171 non-conforming lots.
Yes, that's what she.
So it's
that's correct.
correct in the body, it's incorrect up at the top where
At
it
the
says
top.
172.
Thank you.
And also in our outline of our minutes, agenda, it's 171 instead of 172. What is the position of the commission on the first read?
Mayor,
Commissioner Harris.
motion to approve ordinance number 1516-2026 on first reading.
Second.
It's been moved in second that we approve ordinance number 1516-2026 on first read. Are you ready for the question? All in favor say so by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes carried, passes 5-0. There are no resolutions. We have in this discussion and consideration for legislative appropriation to support a request for the Q Wellness and Recreation Complex. City Manager.
Mayor and Commissioners, this item, as we were preparing our strategic plan that we worked on for quite some time, everyone on this commission during the individual meetings and at other meetings discussed and felt the need to upgrade and renovate our recreational facilities. And at one point, we talked about doing some things with the Farolito Recreation Center as far as making some enhancement to it, as well as a pool or an aquatic center. The other thing that kind of stood out during those times was the industrial park on Joe Adams Road and being able to provide infrastructure and starting to look at how we might be able to develop and begin some activity on Joe Adams. And then third that kind of resonated during that time with me was the expansion of the Pat Thomas Parkway and being able to do some work at that interchange and extending our infrastructure. And so we, staff, is requesting the commission support, help us to advocate and seek funding for the Q. Of course, that's just the title for now. It stands for Quincy, but you know that's not in stone. You have some photos in there for health and wellness facility, as well as an aquatic center. And none of that is in stone, but we want to start aggressively and actively pursuing a legislative appropriation, as well as we don't have a grant writer on board right now, but hopefully by the end of the week or next week, we will have designated someone to help us to aggressively seek funding, and we would like to have the commission blessings and support in moving forward with renovating the Farolito Center, as well as pursuing an aquatic center and health and wellness center over at that property. So on page 3 of the agenda request, we're recommending that the City Commission, that we authorize myself and staff to continue the preliminary planning and coordinating activities related to the name for now, the Q, pursue legislative appropriation and related funding opportunities, to continue discussions with regional and community stakeholders regarding potential partnerships and coordinating activities, and the return to the City Commission with additional project information, refined planning materials, and future recommendations as planning efforts progress. So at this point, we're just asking for your approval and making and pursuing an aquatic center and renovations at the Farolito Center a priority and something that we seek legislative appropriation as well as pursue other funding sources to make that a reality.
I have a couple of questions. Mr. Milton, you indicate 20 plus 5 million being local. I don't see a breakdown in terms of what you propose to be the possible sources for those funds. Almost
We
like
have-
the what and the how.
We have not, and I have Ms. Moy here, if there's something I don't get correct, but we have not identified the funding source. At this point, we know and we want to make some improvements, and we would love to have an aquatic center. We think that that would be great, not only for the city of Quincy, but the entire surrounding area. And we would love to make that facility a destination point where people outside of Gadsden would want to come in and partake. And so no funds have been expended, no funds will be expended, but we would love to just start pursuing and looking for. And so, no, we don't have the answer right now, but we would keep you in the loop as far as progress is being made.
Also, are you going to consider a task force, a city commission to help to monitor and to carry forth the concept or the idea and do some of the work?
Absolutely. We will engage all stakeholders and welcome any thoughts, ideas, and input from business, citizens, and the entire community. And we would love for this to be a project and something that everybody within the city and the surrounding counties take part of and be excited about.
Commissioner Wood.
Thank you, Mayor. This is, we've talked about this, about enhancing our city. Ever since that pool went away, you don't know how many people are still upset and they're still mad about that. Even though we got the new school coming, I do like the idea that you presented with the wellness and recreation complex, an aquatic center, a wellness center is broken down into those various, and the neighborhood hub. I think it's a great idea. I think that there is probably funding out there for this. And my question, those were my comments, but so great job on that. But my question is, you mentioned 3 different areas, Joe Farolito Recreation Expansion, you mentioned the Joe Adams Road, and Pat Thomas Parkway down that corridor, which we talked about on the dais. Now, is that part of all of this? Is this just for expanding the rec center? Are you planning to put the aquatic center in one of these areas, or how is that in your plan? How is that going to fit?
Thanks for that. The clarification would be, this would be recommended for the Farolito Center. So all of this activities and this project would be at the Farolito. In the back of our minds, and as we start to pursue, we're thinking about what could possibly happen at Joe Adams Road. At least 2 of you individually have talked with me and mentioned some thoughts and some ideas, and so we want this to be the primary. However, we would be looking at how and what we can do with those other areas as well. Not to mention that citywide, I mean, so we would not limit ourselves, but those 3 areas, as I spoke with each of you individually, each one of you spoke in terms of those 3 areas and the desire for the city to do something along those ways.
Thank you.
Commissioner Harris?
Thank you. I just want to, well, first of all, let me just say this is well put together, and I appreciate the outline, and tonight you're just simply asking for support to move forward.
Correct.
Okay. The only thing that I would add is because I'm looking at the area where it talks about the regional public benefit. In coordination with the county, I wouldn't just stop at just the county per se with the Board of County Commissioners, but also if we could somehow incorporate the municipalities into becoming a part of this, and we coordinate with them, because, you know, Gretna, Chattahoochee, I'm not sure about Havana, but I know Midway have their Parks and Recreation program as well, and they benefit greatly from what we do here in Quincy. And so, if possible, we can begin conversations about how some of their funding can be redirected to Quincy to support the things that their kids participate here in the city of Quincy. And that way, because I want to eliminate the idea, I'm not sure if we're still doing it, but you know, Quincy residents pay a certain fee, and then we charge our county and other municipality kids a certain fee. And so if we can get a buy-in from those other Parks and Rec programs as a part of this total program to maybe offset the cost, and they become annual funders of what we're doing here in Quincy, if we're gonna be that regional benefit for the entire county. And so I just wanna make sure that we have those conversations as well.
I think that's an excellent idea. And commissioners and audience and anybody who may hear me at this point, please do not let tonight be the only time that you share your thoughts and your ideas. I mean, you know, as you look at this, this is going to be an ongoing. Right now it's a dream, but we do hope to make it a reality, and it's going to take all of us advocating for it, sharing your thoughts and your ideas. And so when we get to starting to do some work, you know, we would have all of that input and make it a little bit easier to make the final decisions on what and how to move forward.
Commissioner?
Yes, the way it's presented, supported something that I think is needed in the city. And I've actually been talking to a couple of residents within the community about trying to add a aquatic center. Do you know the number one thing that the people in this city that I speak with say that they want?
What?
We have no idea.
Jobs. But do you know what number 2 is? An aquatic center.
You know that? You did your own private
I did my
survey.
own little survey with people.
Survey, okay. Inside survey.
Have we explored the options of actually getting together with the county and other municipalities, to kind of put a priorities list together, so when we have those legislative meetings with our state reps, we can be one united front and trying to get all of our needs taken care of, instead of things just, everybody just going to the legislature asking for their own little thing. Have we explored that option?
Well, at this point, I'm communicating more so with the county manager to represent that group of with the commissioners. So I have not gone to the commissioners individually, but we will talk with them. We've had dialogue with the sheriff on several occasions, and the sheriff is very excited and very supportive. And so any and everybody that you all could suggest or recommend, by all means, we do not want to exclude anybody nor any thoughts when it comes to putting this together. I'm the one who's presenting it, but it will take a village and everybody in order to make this a reality.
And I believe that wholeheartedly. I leave that now.
Also, City Manager, as you move through the other municipalities, please have them, or you and staff, to put conditions in writing regarding our movement and agreements, because that adds to your body of support for grants.
Okay.
Also, if you could put a tentative timeline together regarding an action plan, a tentative action plan in terms of your approach to this, I think it will add as well in writing grants or approaching the legislature.
Okay.
Do we need a motion of support for this concept? Commissioner?
Mayor, I would move that we support the manager and our staff in the seeking of legislative appropriations for the Wellness and Recreation Complex as outlined in the document.
A second. It's been moved and second that we support the manager and staff regarding the Wellness and Recreation Complex as presented. Are you ready for question? All in favor say so by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion passes 5-0. Thank you. Thank you, staff. Next item is city clerk vacancy. The candidates were presented from HR at our last meeting. There were 3 individuals who stated that they were still interested. Did you all retain the names? The names are on it, yes.
Mayor?
Do you want the score?
Yes.
And here it has Pamela, but I think it's Paula Adams, 176. These names are incorrect. I thought Ms. Evans refused or declined. Ms. Juanita Benson? No, there were 2 that declined. Ms. Monroe and Ms. Evans.
I'm saying, we only have three names on for the clerk.
Well,
So Everett declined as well as.
Everett declined, it was Benson that I have checked. Juanita?
That's the one who resigned. Juanita Bronson.
Bronson, oh, okay, that's wrong. Okay. Ms. Evans was 145. Ms. Jacqueline Hightower was 194.
And Ms. Everett, was that?
145.
Mayor?
In terms of the scoring rubric,
Adams was
176. Commissioner Knight?
So if I'm reading this correctly, Ms. Adams scored 176, Ms. Everett scored 145, and Ms. Hightower scored 194.
Correct, from the sheet that was provided
Well, Mayor,
from the HR department.
I'd like to offer a motion.
Yes, sir.
I'd offer Ms. Jacqueline Hightower to serve as our city clerk.
Second.
It's been moved in second that we offer the position to Ms. Jacqueline Hightower, who's agreed with a score of 194 to be our city clerk. Are you ready for the question? All in favor, say so. Would you call the roll, please?
Mayor Dr. Beverly Nash,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lane Stevens.
Yes.
Commissioner Dr. Robin Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Devontae Knight,
Yes.
Commissioner Ronte Harris.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. We offer the position to Ms. Jacqueline Hightower. Commissioner Wood? you
Mayor.
have-
I was just gonna ask about, we had a range for the salary. Will that come, when will we make that decision?
Uh.
The salary was a range, so are we going
Um,
to solidify a salary tonight?
And do you have, I don't know what was the last
Uh,
commission?
Salary range was 55,000 to 65,000.
I think we discussed it.
I think we moved
Mayor.
it down to 50.
We discussed it at one meeting. I can't remember what we said. Commissioner Harris?
Thank you. Mayor, I offer a motion that we offer her the position at the salary that we currently pay our clerk, and we will readdress it at the beginning of the fiscal year.
I'll second it.
I'm not sure exactly what it was, but just so that we
I think
don't,
we did it for 50,000. If I'm not
I mean, because we're only talking about 3-4 months. So-
We don't have any idea what that amount is.
Well, we know it's in the budget, is what I'm saying.
Okay, that amount that's in the
We know
budget?
it's, we know it's accounted for in the budget, so.
Okay, so the motion is to offer the salary that is indicated in the budget? Was that your motion,
The current,
Commissioner
the
Harris?
salary that is currently being paid to the clerk.
Okay, did I get a second?
You got a second?
Yes, Commissioner Knight.
Okay. It's been moved in second that we pay the new city clerk the amount that is mentioned in our current budget. Are you ready for the question? All in favor, say so by saying yes or aye. It passes 5-0. Any other questions regarding the city clerk? Or any other issues that we need to deal with?
Are we gonna set up a meeting date and time with her just to kind of go over procedures? Or when would she start?
Um,
Mhm.
We have to get
She-
with her.
She's employed, right? Is she employed?
I don't know what her status is, other than she was interested in the position.
I think she was employed when she interviewed, so. Yeah,
Um,
we'll have to find out.
I don't know what that start date, HR would need to contact her, particularly if she's employed, to see when she can start with us. So, city manager, would you please get with HR and make those arrangements regarding the city clerk?
Yes.
Thank you. Any other items regarding the city clerk? Hearing none, we move to the RFQ response for the selection of the city attorney. Those individuals are here present today to provide us a 3 to 5 minute overview of their skills and services. And if we could call if Mr. Knowles and Randolph would come forward and give us a 3 to 5 minute intro in terms of your company and your skills and services to the city of Quincy.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening, commissioners. My name is Clayton Knowles. I'm working with my father, Harold Knowles, from Knowles and Randolph. We have extensive experience here in Gaston County. I served as the county attorney for about 4.5 years, from 2020 to 2024. My father represents the city of Gretna in the capacity of city attorney. We also do county attorney services for Jackson County, Florida, a little bit west of here in Mariana. And then we also do some non-legal work for the city of Midway. We've also handled the city of Tallahassee's code enforcement board and board of adjustment and appeals for Leon County, as well as the code enforcement board for Leon County. And we also represent Jacob City, Florida in Jackson County. I've been a practicing attorney for approximately 14.5 years. I was not, maybe I shouldn't tell him how long he's been practicing, but I think it is 52 years, if I'm not mistaken, that he has been practicing. He's a little older. Probably get something for that tomorrow. But we have extensive experience in the areas of local government, and we would greatly appreciate your indulgence if you choose to select us. We think that our experience both inside and outside of Gaston County would be a benefit to the city, and we would hope that you would give us that opportunity to try and serve here as well. I don't know, do we have any questions, or you just want us to sit down?
Let me ask the other commissioners if they have any questions. Any questions from the commissioners?
Thank you.
Thank you. Hartman Law Firm.
Good evening. My name is Joshua Pasquale, and I'm a partner with the Hartman Law Firm. Kind of regarding our current experience, I presently represent the Quincy Gadsden Airport Authority. Mr. Hartman represents the pension board. We don't have any other clients currently in Gadsden County or any other conflicts within the county. We provide city attorney services for the city of Carabel, the city of Apalachicola, the city of Bristol. We also provide code enforcement services as the code enforcement magistrate for Liberty County as well as Wakulla County. So we have kind of a vast array of experience. Mr. Hartman unfortunately couldn't be here tonight. He was an engineer prior to being an attorney, so we do a lot of things regarding water and sewer usage, both in Jackson County, Jefferson County, and as well as around the rest of the state, helping utilities provide memorandums of understanding between agencies in order to allow for things like sewer expansion, water expansion, and water and sewer services. If there's any questions, I'm happy. I guess for years of service, Mr. Hartman's got 31 years of experience doing local government work, and I have 18 years of experience now at this point.
Any questions from the commission? None. Thank you. Tobin Law Firm.
Good afternoon. My name is Brent Togman. I'm a solo practitioner with the Togman Law Firm. I've been a lawyer here in Florida since 2014. I'm also licensed in 2 other jurisdictions, which is I'm licensed in the U.S. Virgin Islands, where I'm originally from. I'm also licensed in the state of Georgia. I am also board certified by the Florida Bar in criminal trial law. So I started off my legal practice as a criminal practitioner. I still practice criminal law about 30 to 35%. The majority of my practice now is in plaintiff work. It's in personal injury, both in Florida, Georgia, and U.S. Virgin Islands, as well as in employment law. So I do describe myself as an active litigator. I am not afraid to try cases. About my firm, my firm is a client-centered firm. We care about our clients. If you ever Google my firm or my name, whether it's here in Florida or the U.S. Virgin Islands, I do have positive reviews for my clients, including along with my application. Not only did I list judges that I've practiced in front of, I've practiced in front of Kathy Gardner here in Gaston County. I've practiced in front of Judge Barbara Hobbs here in Gaston County, Judge Fleury, who's currently the circuit judge. I could even list the judges that I've practiced in front of in the district courts here. Judge Walker, I practiced in front of him on a number of occasions. Leslie Abrams Gardner, who's Stacey Abrams' sister in Georgia. I practice in front of her. So what I would offer the city is this. I may not have experience as far as representing a city before, but I have experience in terms of being an aggressive lawyer, a client-centered lawyer, and I believe if you could call any of those judges that I've practiced in front of for many years, I think all of them would say the same thing. And I also, included in my application, I also listed my opposing counsel. It's not one thing just to list a judge that you appeared in front of who could see your work product, but someone who also has practiced against you. And I believe those two opposing counsels, Campbell Ray, as well as Ms. Brathwaite in the Virgin Islands, has referred me cases, and they continue to refer me cases because I believe in aggressively litigating on behalf of my clients. And I also would say this, Gary Roberts, who is he currently is the city attorney. One of the reasons I applied for this job is that he represented to me that he's willing to train me, willing to provide me with the institutional knowledge so there could be an easy transition, and that will allow my firm to provide adequate and competent representation to the city. And like I said, the judges who I'm appeared in front of, I believe you could call all of them, including now the chief judge of our circuit. I believe all of them would actually say the same thing about me. I'm a hard worker, that I'm focused, that I'm client-centered, that I'm honest. Thank you.
Thank you. Those are the three firms that have responded to the RFQ for this position of the commission. Commissioner Stevens, did you have a hand up? Commissioner Stevens.
Well, somebody's got to start. I think I was on the losing vote, or the winning vote, in voting no last time, and I don't know that any of those votes matter that we took. But at this time, I'm going to recommend that we offer the position to Knowles and Randolph.
Second. It's been moved and second that we recommend recommend Knowles and Randolph for the position of city clerk for the city of Quincy. City attorney, sorry, excuse me. Mine is a terrible thing to lose. City attorney, are you ready for the question? May we have a roll call? Ms. Clerk. Ms. Kimball.
Mayor Dr. Beverly Nash,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Stevens,
Yes.
Commissioner Dr. Robin Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Devontae Knight,
No.
Commissioner Ronte Harris.
No.
The motion passes 3-2. Mr. Randolph, Mr. Knowles and Randolph? Knowles. Two Knowles, Knowles and Randolph. Is that correct?
Mr. Randolph is retired. We're both Knowles. This is my dad.
Okay. Knowles and Knowles. Mr. Randolph is retired. Okay, so he is off, okay. Knowles and Knowles is now our city attorney. We thank you.
It's still Knowles and Randolph. That's been our 40-year name, and we retained the name, but we just, Mr. Randolph has just recently retired and does mediation work currently.
Okay, all right. So we'll be working with Knowles and Knowles, not Randolph.
Yes.
Okay, okay, I just want to understand, okay. We welcome you to the city of Quincy as our city attorneys.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next would be to,
Oh, no, go ahead.
you had something,
No,
Commissioner?
you're about to probably say what you
Yeah,
wanted to say.
I was gonna say we need to organize the city city attorney contract agreement would be the next order of business. And we do not have that instrument in our packet. However, we have to consider it or make it available for our next meeting. Yes, Commissioner Stevens.
I would make a motion that for the contract negotiation with Knowles and Randolph, that we proceed with the same amount that's in the budget that we're paying Mr. Roberts. And then again, we can revisit if adjustments are needed at the end of the fiscal year, as we begin the new fiscal year.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second that we retain nose and nose by way of the current budgetary amount in our city budget. Are you ready for the question? All in favor, say so by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Any other items for the city attorney? If hearing,
Just one, Mayor.
Commissioner Knight.
Same question I've had going for the city clerk. When is that person expected to hire, just in case we need to contact for legal services?
As of tonight,
We need them right now.
yeah, as of tonight, they are on the payroll.
And the contract will be, when we'll do the contract?
As soon as we get the document. If we would have
Because
had
we have
the
a
document and the agenda, it could have been done tonight. But that was not the case.
Are we going with the same contract that was presented to Mr. Roberts, or are we going to workshop, try to, there may be some things that both sides may want to agree or take out?
I don't have an opinion other than we need to get a copy of that contract to Nose and Nose and let them review. And then if the city manager can find the contract
I have it.
and get that copy to us, then we can review it and get comments to the city manager, who will get those comments to Nose and Nose.
Thank you.
And we have a contract on it.
Yeah, we have a contract along with a
But the-
performance evaluation.
But the commissioners are negotiating the contract, right, not the city manager?
Right.
Yeah, no, I
'Cause
just
I-
asked him, to get a copy of it for those who may not have a copy.
I think HR should have this,
That's why I asked the city manager to get that copy.
and I have a copy if you need this one. This is our original one.
Yeah,
with Mr.
because I don't
Roberts.
have a current copy. Any other items regarding the city attorney? Moving to the next item is the burial plots. I have written up a possible agenda item that I'd like to share with the commission. And it's based on all the conversations and the presentation that was made at our last meeting regarding the utilities' role in the burial plot transactions. We have not talked about the customer service as well as the clerk, and I'm asking the commission to consider a moratorium on the sale, transfer, and assignment of burial plots within the city-owned cemeteries. And the requested item is to review and approve a temporary moratorium on all burial plot transactions, including new purchases, transfers, resale, and assignments within the city of Quincy's cemeteries. The purpose is to allow the city to sufficient time to evaluate current cemetery capacity, update cemetery management policies, review record-keeping practices, and ensure long-term availability and equability access for residents. The background for this request is that we have identified inconsistencies in historical burial plot records and ownership documentation. Several sections of the cemetery are nearing capacity, requiring a comprehensive assessment of remaining inventory. We need to update our policies and address transfers, resale practices, and verification of ownership to protect the city as well as the residents and prevent disputes. A temporary pause will allow staff to complete a full audit and bring forward recommended policy revisions. The details are: suspend all burial plot sales, transfers, and ownership changes for a defined period, and I suggest 90 to 180 days. Exceptions may be granted for immediate need burials for families with existing verified plots. The city manager and staff will return to the commission with findings, updated policies, and recommendations before the moratorium expires. The physical impact should be minimum. Temporary pause may delay revenue, but supports long-term management and reduces risk of costly disputes. The temporary moratorium will ensure accurate records, fair access, and responsible long-term cemetery planning. I present this to the commission. Commissioner Harris.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, a moratorium on selling burial plots in the city of Quincy is not an option. I don't even see how that can even possibly be an option. When you're talking about somebody's final resting place, and we're saying that they're not going to be able to be buried for another 90 to 180 days until we get our act together, it just doesn't make sense. Now, I asked for this some time ago, that we review what's going on. Now this isn't rocket science. Now burying people in rocket science. The problem is we have an internal control issue, Mr. Manager. We're just doing whatever. I mean, it takes a day for somebody to go over to another city, another county, and figure out how are they running their city cemeteries. And I can tell you right now, all these moving from stop to stop, go here, go there, then come pay this person and come back here, it needs to be a one-stop shop. I've always said that. I don't know why we're struggling to even get this under control. I mean, I just can't see us putting a person's burial on hold for 90 days. That's not an option. We're gonna have to figure out how to get this problem fixed while we're selling cemetery plots. Now, we do have a records management issue, and it's been ongoing, which is why I said, why are we still contracting the same people who are part of the problem? And if they can't give us solutions, let's find other people. If Coke can't do right, move on to Pepsi. Somebody's doing it right. And it's time that we just move on. And Mr. Manager, I'm gonna say it again, it's just time for us to move forward with this and get a system in place. Now, we had a clerk to go to jail over burial plots, but I can assure you, that ain't the only breakdown in the system. As long as we're doing things by hand and folk can just show up in the cemetery and stick a stake in the ground, I guarantee it's a lot of money we done missed. And it ain't all in the clerk's office. So we've got to get a system of checks and balances in place. If that means we have to come in here, commissioners, and sit down and recommend policy and procedures, we need to do that. But I just cannot see putting our burials on hold for 90 days. I can't see doing it for 30 days. I mean, what we gonna expect the funeral homes to hold on to people until we get it together? I mean, and certainly we don't want to have to tell the citizens of Quincy that you got to choose another burial option outside the city of Quincy because we're not selling burial plots right now. That's not an option, Mayor. And those are my comments. Thank you.
We can have exceptions in what I've recommended for immediate need burials for families with existing verifiable
I don't have a plot. I haven't bought a burial plot yet. I might need to, but if I died tomorrow, I certainly don't want my family to be sitting up for 30 days trying to figure out where they're gonna put Ronte. I plan to be buried in Quincy.
Thank you.
In a city cemetery, somewhere, one day.
Have you finished?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Wood.
Thank you, Mayor. I applaud this effort. I think, I think someone recommended this from the audience the last time about a moratorium. The issue I have is, when a person gets ready to plan funerals and be buried, through the funeral homes, and there are no, if we're putting a hold on burial plots, what are they going to do? And then also, legally, what are we able to do? I know you can have one, you can have a moratorium, I know you can do that. However, you can suspend the sales, transfer, all of that, but we have to think about lawfully and legally, are we within those regulations to do this? And then what happens when someone is, ready to be buried, as far as if we put a hold? I think we need to plug the leak, we need to fix the problem that exists with the process. We can put a moratorium, we can stop the sale, but are we gonna fix the problem in the process? I think we've said at several meetings that the process and the policy that exists is what's wrong. It's too many hands, it's too much that you're trying to do just to bury one person or your loved one. We do have to fix that. Now, maybe a temporary, I don't know, I couldn't never agree to 6 months. I just don't, we gotta get some other questions answered. I think this is a step in the right, Mayor, I applaud this. I think this is a step in the right direction in order for us to fix the problem, because obviously there's a problem.
We have a big problem.
There's a problem.
A big problem.
But I don't know how we would be able to stop the sale if someone died tomorrow and they didn't buy a plot previously and they wanna bury their loved one. If we don't sell them the plot, I guess my question would be, what would we do from, at that point?
Those are all good questions that need to be considered. But we start with a problem. We have a problem. And we don't have any solutions or answers to that problem, other than more questions. Commissioner Stevens.
Well, I get back, and I understand the concerns and questions that have been raised. But at the same time, who do we know if we've got an empty plot? Who do we, are we selling somebody a plot that's already been sold to somebody else?
Could be.
And until we can figure that out, I don't know how you sell anything.
We've done a number of things. We have.
I didn't Director Ash bring forth some comments during our work? Did we talk about that at the workshop?
Yeah, he brought 3 vendors for digital
Mapping?
software.
Yeah.
But that, we don't have a person in utilities, and we have not dealt with the issue of customer service or the city clerk's role in this whole process. So there's 3 entities, 3 departments that somehow crosses our ability to effectively do burial plot transactions. Commissioner Wood.
Sorry, Commissioner Stevens.
Well, were you finished?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I would legally, we have an attorney up here, or legally, or our new attorney, somebody, are we able to, is there a limit to the number? Could we actually do a moratorium? Have you had any experience with that in the past?
You want our sitting attorney or the one that we just heard today? Who are you addressing that to?
I can direct it to our new attorneys.
Direct experience with it, excuse me.
Would you come?
I've got the 78-year-old knee that won't let me kind of get up there. So I try to talk loud.
Okay, please.
A lot of my background has been in real estate. This is a real estate sales, but
there are a number of problems that we have experienced. There are a number of problems that we've experienced. If you know our history, I don't know how much to talk about since we are in potential litigation. Yeah, I'm gonna clip the lip. I'm not gonna say very much. But we've had people buried on top of each other. We've had missing documents, incorrect documents, and those are those deeds that you say are real estate. And we haven't determined the money flow. So we have a number of issues from either the front end is pretty systematic. We know in utilities pretty much what they're doing, but we don't know once it leaves the utilities department what is necessarily happening. So again, we need a private conversation about it because of the legal ramification of discussing any other details about it.
The process and checks and balances is not there.
It has broken down.
That's the
There's
problem.
no existing litigation, right? Okay.
Not yet, but it's potential for that to happen.
You won't be able to have a shade meeting if there's no pending litigation.
But the issue, this is the issue. The issue is all of the hands that you have to go through in order to just get your burial plot. I mean, you start with utilities, you meet to the customer service,
And the
you
clerk.
pay for it over there, you got to
Go
go to
back
the clerk.
Go
then
back
you
to the
gotta-
two.
It's the process that's in place, which has nothing to do with, right now, litigation. It has to do with the policy, the process that's in place through City Hall. So that's what needs to be changed, I think. Because that's where the breakdown is. You have too many, you're trying to go into a circle,
And we're not digitizing.
you know, and it's not digitized, and they wanted, I think we talked about digitalization, however, the consensus was that you all wanted to wait until the new budget year, which is about, what, 3 months away? You know, we have to do something now.
We have a comment, Mr. Elias.
Thank you, Mayor. There are two major things going on. Yes, your process is flawed. As a result of having that flawed process, it has brought you to the point that you don't know how many plots have been sold. You don't know how many have been actually paid for.
No.
You don't know how many have been legitimately recorded in the courthouse, if you have any records here. You don't know what those locations are of those plots that were purchased.
No.
Nor do you know how many plots are still available to be purchased, even if the other things stand in place.
Yes.
So you're right, you do have a problem. It is in the process and maybe even some of your personnel. But I understand the dilemma that you can't put it on hold. But by that same token, if you don't put it on hold, if you think you have a problem now, those things that you just mentioned, it's only gonna be exacerbated. Thank you.
Thank you.
However, you can get it right now and start
Go ahead. it's
from
free for you.
somewhere.
Let
To
them
get it right.
Let
but
them
I'm
handle
just
it.
saying,
Yeah.
Let
Okay,
them
it's
handle
up,
Right.
again.
Let them-
Oh, I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
didn't
go
see her.
ahead, Ms. Hannah.
I didn't see her.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Everybody-
Before I
Not in the classroom, but.
Well, I did not see your hand.
That's okay. But could we have, and I know it may sound funny, but could we have a cemetery coordinator? That person will write down everything you need, and they would get with each department to make sure that you have your permit, you have this, you have that, and that one person will coordinate all these services, cause I'm telling you, put it on record. If my loved one dies and I gotta wait 90 to 100 days, somebody will be buried in somebody's backyard. Because why would you, and that opens up other cans of worms. You wanna hold a person out, it's hard enough, and these, funeral directors, they're having 6 and 7 funerals a week. So can you imagine, you can't bury a loved one from 90 to 100 days? Okay, now you talking about a dead mess, that's a dead mess. Again,
And we may have one already in
well,
terms
one
of some of the
as opposed
problems.
to 1,000.
We don't know how many.
But they're dying every day.
Yeah, we
And my
don't- and-
commissioner started coughing, I was worried about him. I was like, I hope you got a funeral spot, because they gonna hold you out for 90 days. Again, and I know it may sound funny, but a seminary coordinator would definitely help. You could get one person who can coordinate with all these departments, so people won't have to run all over the building, and then it puts the funeral directors in a dilemma. Thank you so much.
That's another budget item,
Better budget than in a lawsuit.
which we have been. Commissioner Harris.
Thank you, Mayor. Ms. Hannah is absolutely correct, and that is what I thought we had here in the city of Quincy. That's what I thought we had, a person to coordinate burials, which is why I'm still till this day trying to figure out how does someone walk away with burial plot money if someone is coordinating the process? How does a person get buried? How do I come in and pay for a service in one location and a person still gets buried and that money doesn't get turned in? That's what I've been trying to grip my hands around for the last year, is how does that happen? So that means there's no system of checks and balances when it comes to burying. You go one place, you're working in isolation. You go over and you can tell the guy over in the utility department anything, and he just goes stick a stake in the ground. And nobody's coming back saying, was that spot paid for? Was it recorded in the system? It's a flawed system, and I don't think it takes all this legal jargon to get it done. It just takes somebody sitting down, putting checks and balances in place, and holding people accountable. I asked to end that contract over there with the guy who's coordinating cemeteries, because there's no way in the world we should have this many issues, and yet we're still paying somebody every day who do nothing but cemetery plots. That just doesn't make sense to me. So the very person that Ms. Hannah is talking about was already on staff. The problem is they just didn't do the checks and balances that went along with it. And the other thing, this antiquated system of how we're handling records got to end. You're pulling out notebooks and folders and pieces of paper and napkins, and you got maps drawn on it and people's names, not even a full name on there, not a deed number or nothing. We've got to immediately, Mr. Manager, find some money and get a system in here to get our records updated. But to continue to pay for the services that we were paying for, I cannot support that. I'll pay for something else, but I can't support and continue to pay for a problem that has now come to almost to a head. And the problem didn't just start. It was this way 15 years ago. It was this way 20 years ago. It's just now coming to fruition. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, it was for consideration and discussion. Since I cannot have individual conversations with you all, I brought it to the dais. Any other comments? Again,
Just one, Mayor, if I may.
Commissioner Wood.
City Manager, this has come on this dais, I don't know how many times now, 3, maybe 4. We are asking you to give us something from your office to ease this burden, to make this, I hate to use the term, make this make sense to me. We need a real system in place. We need policies and procedures in place. We don't handle day to day. However, sometimes the writing is on the wall as to what you need to do in order to rectify this situation. And when we've gotten to this point where we're talking about a moratorium, oh, this is serious. This This puts it right there in front of you. It's serious business, and we need to figure out what needs to be done. Thank you, Mayor.
And that's the reason why I brought it to you, because it has gotten serious.
Mayor,
And it rises to that occasion. And so,
if I may, Mayor.
that's my recommendation.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Wood made a very good point towards her end there when she said, we need to figure this out. So I would appreciate individually any suggestions or comments or thoughts that anyone sitting around this dais or out there might have. I mean, because in the few months that I've been here, you know, the money's getting turned in, but we will do, I will do what's been asked, but obviously I need some help. So, you know, any thought that you have, if not, you know, we'll work with what we can, but I welcome any input that any of you all might would have on an individual basis with me.
Thank you, City Manager. Commissioner Stevens.
I think I would start, Mr. Manager, by calling the clerk of court and asking the clerk of court what documents they have that have been filed over there. That's where the deeds should have been filed. Mr. Knowles is correct. It's a real estate transaction. We talked about this during the workshop the other day when somebody brought up the issue of heirs. You know, it's a real estate transaction, and it's a property ownership issue. So, and all those documents should be filed with the clerk of court. I would suggest we call the clerk and ask, do they have a database that would make it easy to find that? They might. They might say, no. But I think that's where I would start. I'd call over there and ask them, what do y'all have that shows the ownership of the various lots in the city cemeteries? And just see what they've got. Maybe we've done that.
Yes, I think what I'm asking is the process. You know, someone comes in tomorrow for a burial plot. I'm asking for input as to how you all envision or see that as needing to work so that they identify the plot, they pay for the plot, and you know, if they wish to go out to the cemetery, you know, sounds like to me if the money or the check or money order, because we don't take cash, if it was taken right there on the spot where they purchased that, then they wouldn't have to go to customer service, and then utilities will take that information and have it recorded versus having the clerk to do it. So I don't know whether having everything done in one office or if there should be some form of checks and balances where somebody else makes sure that that transaction and everything is taking place.
Commissioner Knight.
And I think that speaks to what Ms. Hannah was speaking to. The person that we've hired to handle the cemeteries, that process, that needs to go up under their daily responsibilities. And then I guess they transfer that money at the end of the day or whatever day you designate to the customer service department or finance for record keeping. But I've just been made aware that the city of Tallahassee has a online portal that you can actually see. Can you speak to it? Or you can actually see the burial record, the software. And I guess that's something what we were speaking about. You would have an electronic
And
copy.
also, that's a cost that
That's a cost,
the
but
utility brought.
I think it's a necessary need at this point. So if we can just get that information from the city of Tallahassee to see their process and the systems that they use, I think that'll answer pretty much all of the immediate questions that we have. Thank you.
Commissioner Wood.
He took, I know, you in my head a little bit over here. One thing I was going to say, there are several cities that are doing burial plots all around us. I've gone on Tallahassee's website before. Very seamless system that they have that's digitalized. So if we look at cities around us, see, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. But let's not make money the issue, because we can find it. I'll tell you how later when I get to it. We have money that we could use. This is that important that we take some of that money that we just got and we use it toward this. That we need to come up to the 21st century in several places in the city. We should be digitalized, we should be online, people should be able to do things by sitting at their computer. So that's where we need to get. That's where we need to get. And that may entail training. I don't know, as far as employees, but we're not gonna make money the issue for getting this done. We just had the mayor just bought a moratorium proposal. That tells us how serious this is, and we need to be paying attention. Those are my comments. Thank you.
Commissioner Knight?
Yes, and something that we need to also look at, and I'm gonna just keep harping on this. At a previous workshop, it was said to us that our cemeteries are filling up pretty fast. So we may need to identify, additional land so we can, have our loved ones that are in the future. And that's,
Well, first, let us identify what we have at our existing owned cemeteries and how many vacancies we have.
that.
Then we can go to the next level of purchasing.
I know, I went down to Sunnyvale yesterday with a concerned citizen, Ms. Hunter, and just looking at it, I have no expertise in it, but it's looking kind of full.
Well,
You
we
know,
have no
we-
data
we-
or
we use
facts
that.
to verify that, so
We use that faithfully in the city, so.
we need some facts and some data to verify that. So, again, a discussion. Commissioner Harris.
Thank you. My only other issue is that, once we get a system in place and we get that coordinator or whomever, Mr. Milton, please don't let that be the only person in the city of Quincy who can take a person from the cashier to the cemetery burial system. That's another issue here in the city of Quincy. is We got all these sole people who can only do this one job. And that's been the frustration I know with a lot of customers, is that they come to try to get things done and that one person is just not there. There should be somebody at all times who can step in and know the process and be able to get the job done when it needs to get done. So I don't want, to create a system now where only one person knows the system and nobody else knows how it works, because we've operated in that fashion in a number of areas, and that causes a lot of issues, especially with customers here in the city of Quincy. Thank you.
Also having that document on our website and whatever other sites that are appropriate for this information. Any other discussion around consideration for this item? Thank you for all your comments. I'm quite sure the city manager has noted them. And if you think of any additional comments or suggestions, please contact our city manager. The next item, the June 23rd commission meeting is canceled because of election, our District 1 election. We need a motion to officially cancel that meeting because of that activity.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second that we cancel the June 23rd commission meeting because of District 1 election. Are you ready for a question? All in favor, say so by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next is the Quincy Police Fire Pension Board of Trustees. We have a nominee. Ms. Mr. Victor Geiger, I believe.
Correct.
I have misplaced the information, City Manager.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
as the city commissioner who serves on that, at our last meeting, it was time for Mr. Geiger. His term was up, and he expressed his desire to continue to serve. So the pension board voted unanimously to recommend to the city council that we approve him again for another term. So I would make a motion that we approve Victor for another term on the Fire and Pension Review Board.
Second.
It's been moved in second that we approve Mr. Victor Geiger for the Quincy Police and Fire Pension Fund Board of Trustees. This is for how long? Do you-
4-year term.
A
Four-year
four-year term.
term.
It's for a four-year term. Are you ready for the question? All in favor, say so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes 5-0. Congratulations, Mr. Geiger.
Mayor,
Yes, Commissioner.
if I might continue on this item, to make the public aware, there is a vacancy for a Quincy resident position on that. So I would suggest to all of the commissioners, if you might want to check with any of your constituents to see if they would be willing to serve. We meet once a quarter, and we do have that one opening that we need to fill, so that we makes it easier for us to have a quorum when we do meet. So I would just put that out there, and I'll also say that just our police and fire pension fund is doing very well. The city has done a very good job of funding it over the years. Our investment folks that are in charge of the investment have done a good job with that as well. So our fire and pension fund remains in good shape.
The vacancy, what's the qualifications again?
You have to be a resident of the city of Quincy.
Okay, I think I have
What's the term?
someone.
4-year term. Yep. And like I say, we meet quarterly, so it's 4 times a year.
Any recommendations we submit to the city manager? Is that the process?
Yeah, I would submit them to the city manager, and then he can get with the board, the trustee board, and it can be brought before us.
Okay. That was for information. Yes, okay. Former Dardale dedication. Commissioner Wood.
Thank you, Mayor. Pass these down. I think that, something that's been on my mind and in my spirit since the death of former Commissioner Keith Dowdell, who served the city of Quincy well over 20 years. I'd like to read a justification for naming a multi-purpose room in honor of Commissioner Keith Dowdell in either the Recreation Department or a future multi-purpose room that is planned for the Recreation Center. I would love for one of our centers, once we're funded, to be named for our former commissioner. The city of Quincy has long benefited from the dedicated service of individuals who have committed themselves to improving the lives of its residents. Among those public servants was Commissioner Keith Dowdell, whose leadership, commitment, and advocacy helped strengthen the community and advance the city's mission of serving its citizens. The multi-purpose room within the Quincy Recreation Center serves as a gathering place for youth programs, community meetings, educational activities, senior events, and civic engagement. These purposes reflect the values Commissioner Dowdell championed throughout his service to the city of Quincy: community involvement, opportunity, inclusion, education, and investment in people. Naming the space the Commissioner Keith Dowdell Multipurpose Room would provide a meaningful and lasting tribute to his contributions while preserving the Recreation Center's existing identity. The designation would recognize his public service without requiring the facility's renaming and would establish a permanent reminder of the importance of civic leadership and community commitment. Once the Q is funded, I ask that one of the areas be dedicated to former Commissioner Dowdell in his honor. This recognition would also serve as an educational purpose by encouraging future generations to learn about local leaders who dedicated their time and efforts to improving Quincy. As residents, youth, and visitors utilize the room for community activities, they will be reminded of Commissioner Keith Dowdell's legacy of public service and his commitment to enhancing the quality of life for all citizens. For these reasons, the City Commission is respectfully requested to designate the multipurpose room within the Quincy Recreation Center as the Commissioner Keith Dowdell Multipurpose Room in honor of his distinguished service and lasting contributions to the City of Quincy, submitted by Commissioner Dr. Robin L. Wood, District 1. I also have a sample resolution that we could utilize if we decide to go with this. I just think that a person who served the city for that long should be recognized in some way, form, or fashion. I am asking this commission to approve a motion to name the Quincy Recreation Multipurpose Room after Commissioner Keith Dowdell, District 1, City of Quincy.
That's your motion?
That's the motion. So moved.
It's been moved in second, based on the recommendation from Dr. Wood, to name the future multipurpose room for former Commissioner Keith Dowdell. Are you ready for the question? All in favor, say so by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Talk about pressure of getting this building.
Huh?
There's pressure to get the building built.
That's what I just told the manager, now you gotta get it done.
Yeah. Hurricane Michael.
Thank you, Mayor. So Hurricane Michael, we have some funds that have just been sitting in the budget. And what I propose is that we take, well, I might need to change. My proposal was going to be that we take the Hurricane Michael funds and transfer them to Florida class, the investment. But we may need to look at the burial, that situation. But my proposal is that we invest that money instead of having it sitting there. It's not drawing any interest. It's not doing anything. We can't spend it on anything. So I just think if we're not going to invest it, we need to at least shift it somewhere else. So I just wanted to get the commissioner's thoughts on that.
What line item? Do you remember? Or what
It's
GL
an account all bit, oh, you mean where to move it to?
no, where is it now and where?
It has its own account.
It's in a bank
Bank,
account.
yeah,
It's
it's
in
a
a
bank
bank
account,
account.
Hurricane Michael.
Little over $16,000.
Okay.
Yes.
That was left after we paid the $3 million back and it trickled in and just sat there.
Okay, 16,000.
It's a little over 16,000.
Okay. Commissioner Harris.
Thank you. I'd like to offer a motion that those funds be moved to the Florida class for investment.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we move the hurricane,
I have a question.
question.
What happened to the money that we just received in the settlement from the insurance company?
That's coming.
actually receiving the check.
Okay. I was thinking that was the money that you were talking about, Dr. Wood. So you're talking about just
The
a...
16,000.
Okay.
The standalone account that we have for
Okay.
Hurricane Michael. I think it should be closed and that money should be invested. So if we can amend the motion, close that account, move that money.
Yeah, well, yes, we can amend the motion for, to actually close out the account. Okay, because it's in a separate account. I'll add that to the motion.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second it. And just a question about the Florida class investment. How much interest are we receiving on that?
It's in your monthly, financials, but I'll find it and give it.
There's a motion on the floor to close the account, Hurricane Michael's account, and transfer it to Florida class.
For investment.
Pardon?
For investment.
I didn't hear.
For investment.
For investment, yeah, thank you. For investment purposes. Are you ready for the question? All in favor, say so by saying aye or yes.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. The next item is no reports. We have old business, smart grid.
Good evening. There's not many numbers to go over tonight. We're still waiting on the programmers to finish the data change from ADG to Tampa to the meter data. We have 2 programmers that are working on it actively, and they believe it should be done no later than next week. At that point, they'll start working on the billing, coming back to ADG to start processing the billing. We had a training with one of the meter vendors set for yesterday. They had to cancel for personal reasons, so we should reschedule that for next week to do it as remote. This week, though, we put some utility staff into the TANLA system and started pulling rereads out of the system. So generally, they'll do a reread, they'll send a meter back out to the field, go check that meter, and for a majority of the meters, we can actually see the readings in the system. So now they're pulling that instead of sending the reader back out in the field. Some of the reads we saw were a little bit off, so they actually went out to verify they're correct and came back. We had some reads that have been estimated for quite a while that were very far off. And when they went out and actually checked it, the system was right, but the estimation was wrong. There may be some people that may be upset about that. They're also, TANLIS is sending the water and the gas reads to us daily now. It just started today. And we'll be pulling a manual report from the electric side and start trying to put that together to put into the current walking route system to eliminate some of the places they have to walk. Also met with the gas technicians today. When they started putting in the gas radios, they stopped after about 200 meters. They're pulling all that equipment up tomorrow, so we're gonna get that equipment here and make sure it's still working and start programming the rest of those meters. We're gonna try to get ahead of the routes, so if possible, we can get some good readings coming in before that billing cycle for that route and start using that data. And that's where we are right now.
Any questions? Commissioner Knight.
Sound like this project is moving along, in full support of this. One question I have, is there anything else that you need from the commission that we need to take care of?
Not at this moment.
Commissioner Harris.
Thank you. Where are we on the kiosk and the doing any prepay and all that kind of stuff?
We've been working with the kiosk. Now, Howard is the vendor for the kiosk. They have integration with Acceleron to do that. The majority of their kiosks depends on the prepay system being in place. And that will happen as soon as the AMI system is working correctly. They are putting it together. They're actively working on that.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions regarding the smart grid? If none, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Garland. Comments by city manager.
Mayor, we have with us tonight Ms. Lou Testo with St. Paul Episcopal Church, and I know I didn't pronounce your last name correctly, but she's interested in partnering with the city on a community health fair at the Joe Farrelito Center on Sunday, August the 2nd. And so she would like to come and make a request to the commissioners in reference to that event.
Good evening, Mayor Nash.
Good evening.
Good evening, commissioners.
Good evening.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk with you. I would start out by telling you that I did not seek this office, did not seek this position, but it appears that I am organizing a back-to-school health fair. And how that came about is it was the brainchild of the chaplain service, the Quincy chaplain service. And they started planning this in the late fall last year and had several meetings about it. And in early February, my priest, which many of you know, Mother Tanya Sheff at St. Paul's, she came to me, and knowing that I have experience doing special events and marketing and different things and have a lot of contacts in the community, that she came and said, would you help get this organized? And I don't know about you, but when my priest asks me to do something, I say yes. And so I started working immediately. And as the representative from St. Paul's to the American Red Cross, I attend what's called COAD, and it's a conference of all of the disaster preparedness, the gray sky and blue sky people in these 8 counties. We meet once every other month, and we share our needs, our preparations, our contacts, and we do training at that meeting. And so in March, I spoke about the city of Quincy partnering with St. Paul's Episcopal Church to have a back-to-school health fair. And immediately, I had people come up at that meeting and say, we would love to come to Quincy. Several of them had made attempts from their state agency or from their charitable organization to extend service networks into this area for our citizens, but they had not ever gotten a concrete response. Where they had tried to reach out, things did not move forward, and I guess the chaplain service had felt the same way, because I kept saying, all I need is a location and a date, a location and a date. I will do your marketing. I will, get out and find the vendors. I will do what you need me to do. I want this to be successful, and I couldn't get a date or a location confirmed. So I finally asked for a meeting with Mr. Robinson from the chaplain service, and only for him to tell me that no one else had been working on it. I had been the only one going out and talking about this event and working on it. And so after collecting myself from my surprise, I contacted St. Paul's commissioner, Commissioner Stevens, and I asked him if he knew anything about it. And whether he did or not, he helped me move this initiative forward, because I think it will be great for the community. And so he talked with Mr. Milton, as did I, and we got together and had a meeting last week. Essentially, I have 15 state agencies and organizations that are already committed to come out here. They're going to do pop-up table type of thing, and from their tables, they're going to be doing things like doing wellness checks on children. There's a vaccination coming from the FAMU Extension Office. The FSU College of Medicine is coming to do the wellness checks. We have the Florida Department of Health office here, Mr. Rogers, Roosevelt Rogers, is working with me, and they're bringing the mobile bus. I have One Blood bringing their bus to talk about blood health. I have Big Bend Transit talk coming. Every one of these organizations, whether they're a charitable organization or a state agency, they have committed to do giveaways that day as part of what they're bringing to the table. So I have free meals, free school supplies, free health supplies. I have free haircuts. I have somebody do free haircuts. We want to give every low-income child in this county a great start to get back to school. But initially, the entire conversation about this had been about having it in one of the parks. And I just got to tell you, holding something in August at one of the parks when it's hot as Blitzy is just kind of off the chain to me. And so the minute I started talking to Commissioner Stevens and Manager Milton, I want to call him Roger, but I'm trying to be respectful, Mr. Milton, we all agreed this needs to be at the rec center. And so to have food trucks outside, the One Blood bus outside, the mobile bus from the Florida Department of Health outside, and then have all these tabletop vendors inside, I think would be a fantastic event. Well, we wanted to have it the first weekend of August, and the rec center is booked every Saturday in August. So we moved it to the next day, to Sunday. On a Sunday, I think you'll have one of two things happen. You'll either have people say, oh, I'm not going to something on a Sunday. But instead, I think what you're going to have is a whole community of people who are looking for something fun and free that benefits their kids and their family, and they're going to come straight from church or straight from brunch or whatever it is they do on Sunday morning, and they're going to come, and we're going to have a hard time, the walls not busting at the rec center for this event. But I also asked City Manager Milton, I said, okay, if I will continue to work on this, and if St. Paul's will back this with our people and our time and our volunteers and our connections, what can the city bring to the table? And we determined that what you could do for us is to waive the fee for the rental of the rec center. And thank you, Commissioner Harris. He's got that look on his face, and he's nodding his head like, well, that's a no-brainer. And to me, it really is. And so if you approve that tonight, we're going to go forward with some marketing materials we have designed that I'm going to be reviewing with City Manager Milton. And probably the only other thing I would tell you is that we have a lot of negative press. Y'all discussed several issues tonight that have been negative things going on for the city for months. I got to tell you, I am so proud of my neighbors. I've had a conversation with Ty Smith at the Chamber. They're going to promote this event and give us volunteers. I've talked with Pastor Janice Harris, who her church is in Havana. But Impact Gadsden has over 50 clergy in their organization, And they're not only going to promote this to their congregations, but they're gonna provide volunteers. I've already talked with a couple of the county commissioners. I talked with Commissioner Simpkins a couple of nights ago. She's trying to get the entire commission to come and have a table and hand out supplies and backpacks and things. So I think it would be a really incredible, I have a meeting tomorrow afternoon with Quincy Main Street and their director, Mr. Keever. And so I just think it will be a really good object lesson that when we all work together for the good of the community, we can make things good things happen. And I also know that I've had several comments from the people who are going to come out here, that they said it'll be great to come out there and actually see the people and hear what it is they need of our services, and really collect more data, so to speak. Because if they're gonna make an investment in Gadsden to extend their network from Leon County or from somewhere else that they primarily work, you know, it takes money. The College of Medicine has just started a partnership with St. Paul's, and they said Gadsden was the first of the outlying counties we wanted to get this program started with. It's a partnership with TMH and the College of Medicine, and I just happened to approach them at the right time. But they are thrilled to have another opportunity and another place to come out here and be extending their network in Gadsden. So what I'm here for is to ask for a freebie, but I hope that y'all will support that, and I hope you'll put August 2nd on your calendar, because I want you to all be there. And in between now and then, I'm gonna flood your inboxes with some marketing materials, and I need your help promoting this around the county. We want everybody countywide to enjoy this event and to show that Quincy can be a good host to all the other cities and the outlying rural people.
Thank you for bringing the idea. It's an investment in our families and our children and our various communities. Commissioner Stevens.
Thank you. Yeah, I was surprised when Ms. Lou reached out to me about the event, because it was the first I'd heard of it. But we had a very good meeting, as she mentioned, with Manager Milton. And while I know that all of, did it just quit? I think it just quit. I know that all of you, I'm hoping will support. I'm going to make a motion that we waive the rec department fees for the afternoon of August the 2nd for this worthwhile event. I know that we've had discussions around this table about our making sure that this board approves our partnerships, and I told Ms. Lou that was the reason I wanted to have her come up and talk about it, so that all of you can weigh in and hopefully support this as well. But I would make a motion that we waive those fees on that day for this event.
I'll second.
Second. Got 3 seconds, so.
And I was wanting to comment, when you were talking about the wellness program, you'll have a lot of really good contacts right here at your doorstep that day that you ought to nab up some of those people to help you with moving forward your idea about the wellness center.
Yes, that's advocacy. It'd be good to advocate for that idea.
Absolutely.
It's been moved in second that we support this event by waiving the fees for the recreation center. Are you ready for the question? All in favor, say so by saying yes or aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-1, 0. Thank you. Any other things, City Manager Milton?
That's it for me.
Okay. Interim City Clerk? Interim City Attorney?
No.
Commissioner Harris?
No.
Commissioner Wood?
Of course, Mayor. Thank you all for yielding your time to me. All right, so I prepared something. Mayor, Commissioners, citizens, and constituents, I want to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude for the opportunity to serve the city of Quincy and District 1 Serving on this commission has been a great honor. While we have not always agreed on every issue, I believe we have at least been able to move this community and city forward. Together, we have faced challenges, celebrated accomplishments, and worked to make our city a better place for current and future generations. I want to thank the citizens who entrusted me with the opportunity and the responsibility to serve. Public service is not about titles or positions, it's about serving others and helping to improve the quality of life for our community. I am proud of the work we on this dais have accomplished and grateful for the relationships along the way. Thank you to our city employees, department heads, and fellow elected officials. Much of the process our residents see every day is the result of your hard work and dedication behind the scenes. Thank you for the privilege to serve. And you know I'm reading this statement because I don't know what happens on June 23rd. I hope that I am sitting back in this seat, but should I not be, I want to make sure I thank you publicly today for the privilege to serve the city of Quincy in District 1. I am asking that you get out and vote. Maybe I'll be back up here, but if not, I'll still be around. So may God bless each of you. May God continue to bless our citizens. And please, City Manager, do not drop the ball on that multi-purpose renaming for the former Commissioner Keith Dowdell, as he has served the city of Quincy well. Thank you all so much and have a great night. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioner Knight.
No comment.
Commissioner Stevens.
Thank you. I do have just a couple. Manager, there is a lot, an overgrown lot on Dizelle Street that is owned by the county. I think it was a street that they picked up through the tax rolls, and I think they've had it for years. And one of the residents over there called and said it's overgrown, and could we do something about that? So I just wanted to bring that up. I'd also like to see if we can get any kind of update from our police department on the shooting that occurred on North 8th Street here a couple of weeks ago. The gentleman that was shot at, I mean, that's considered aggravated assault when you shoot a gun at somebody. If you're trying to hit them, it's attempted murder. But just shooting the gun in the direction of someone is aggravated assault. I know we had a lot of video. The video that y'all may have seen was from the camera at my house when he fired the gun right in front of my house, shooting at a neighbor 3 doors down. So I'd just like to get an update on that so I can let my neighbors know what's going on, because they haven't heard anything. You know, I had brought up the issue once before, and it's interesting, I brought it up, I think, with the manager and the current acting chief about the issue of a youth curfew. And I asked in that meeting if the current chief thought a youth curfew would be a good idea, and he said yes. So I started working on proposing one. And guess what? We already have an ordinance dealing with youth curfew. How is it that our acting chief of police doesn't know that we already have an ordinance dealing with youth curfew? A curfew that holds parents or legal guardians responsible for those youth. You know, I saw somebody post the other day in a response to my post, why should we be held responsible for what our kids do? You had them. You made them. You need to be responsible. You know, what's going to happen, folks, is a young black man is going to get killed in this city by a white person. and all hell's going to break loose. All hell is going to break loose. But that's what's going to happen. That young man the other night that shot in front of my house, he's lucky that the man he shot at was not closer to him, because he was armed. And he told me that morning, Lane, the only reason I didn't shoot him because he was at your house, and I didn't want to fire down the street. Now, why was that man outside? Because his car alarm went off when the kid was trying to get into his Jeep. He didn't get in, but he shook it so hard the alarm went off. He had already checked his 3 doors at the house right across the street. We've got that video. And they know who it is. Matter of fact, I'm going to do this. My wife's probably going to be upset with me. I'm going to offer a $1,000 reward tonight for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of whoever it was that shot towards my neighbor. Anybody else up here wanting to match it? Y'all are more welcome to match it, but I'm going to put up my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to offer a $1,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of that individual. This crap is the reason I ran. And I'm hoping we're getting ready to have a new police chief that can clean up our police department and get this mess straightened out. Hell, we've got dispatchers who are getting in fights and spraying people with pepper spray. I don't understand. Who are we hiring? Who are we hiring that has information, has access to all of the sensitive information? Yet these people are out fighting on Friday and Saturday night. I hope our new police chief does better than that. Finally, I'll say this. The legislature this past week sent a constitutional amendment to the voters that will be on the ballot in November. Now, the governor didn't sign it. The governor didn't have to sign it. Saw somebody today, somebody in the press wrote, the governor signed the bill. No, he didn't. It's a joint resolution. It does not require the governor's signature. You all may have received an email from our property appraiser with estimates of what that would look like for us. Fortunately, I guess I can say, we have so many homes in the city that are valued at less than $50,000 that the impact is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But in the first year, if it's adopted and it goes to a $150,000 exemption, that's going to cost us about $400,000 of the 2.3. We collect 2.3 million in revenue from property tax. That's going to drop to 1.92, 1.93. In the second year, it goes to 250,000. It's only going to cost us about another 215,000. It's not that much. That first 250 is what gets us. The legislature did not provide any kind of fund that the governor had suggested that we could all go beg to replace the funding. Which, you know, government's best decisions are best made at the local arena. And I don't want us to be put in a position to have to go to Tallahassee and beg for more money. But we just need to go ahead and be planning on the fact that we most likely are going to have let's call it $500,000 less to spend next year than we've got this year. So, assuming that it passes. So, but just wanted to bring that update to everyone on the legislative side. So, thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
Thank you. I too am concerned about the random shooting in our neighborhoods. I did send a email to city manager to ask what our response as a community or as a city is, and also what was the status of the police department in terms of their response. And hopefully you're preparing that response or email to me, because I did not get an answer. So I too am concerned, because random shots can happen in any neighborhood and impact all of us. So we all need to be concerned. If there are no more,
One last thing, Mayor, if I may.
just one last
One
thing.
thing, I promise.
Yes,
One.
please, one last thing.
He brought up the shootings with the, and it kind of
Yes.
prompted me. I do want to thank the police department for the suppression, the unit that they have established. I look forward to hear more about it, but I've seen at least 2 arrests for drugs and in these trap houses. So I think that's moving in the right direction. I just want to say thank you. I know it's not going to solve everything, but it's a step in the right direction. Because one of those houses, were both of them in my district? Okay. I know one of them was in my district, so the citizens and the neighbors there are very pleased with that. So keep moving forward with that and informing the citizens of what that unit is all about. Because some people are not sure, they haven't even heard about it. So if we can put some information maybe on the QPD website or the city website about that suppression unit, I forget what, it's a whole acronym for it, but team that they have that are not a drug enforcement unit, but it almost acts as one. So just kudos, and I appreciate them doing that. And I do agree, because we have a lot of shootings, even people just walking the street 4 o'clock in the morning shooting in the air, shooting at the ground. They just shooting because they can. So I agree with the other commissioners here. We have to be proactive. And Commissioner Stevens, I'm not allowed to match your $1,000 by law, but if I could, I would.
Also, you mentioned notification. Under My Quincy, the notification, the police department did put a notice about the suppression unit. So anybody who wants an explanation can go to My Quincy. And so it started with the May 18th notification with a description of the crime suppression unit. If there are no others, may I have an adjournment?
So moved.
So done.